5 men have been jailed for a total of 76 years for their involvement in an unforgivable and callous attack which killed a 44-year-old man from Wotton. 3 of the men from Hull and one from Scunthorpe and another of no fixed address. They were jailed at Bradford Crown Court by Judge Peter Kelson KC after a 4-week trial. The information from residents in the quiet North Lincolnshire village was crucial to the lengthy and intricate Humberside police investigation, which took 2 years. Jamie Smith, 35, of Skippendale Road, Scunthorpe, Patrick Joseph Smith, 29, of no fixed abode, and 3 men from Hull, Nicholas James St. Clair, 36, of Castle Grove, Aaron Windus, 41, of Allenby Road, and Celestio Furtado, 38, of Waterloo Street, were all found guilty of Mr. Steve's manslaughter, with the jury returning their final verdicts earlier this week. All 5 men, alongside Bobby Gibson, 20, of Woodcock Street, were also found guilty of conspiracy to burgle Mr. Steve's property as part of the planned attack which led to Mr. Steve's death. On Monday, the 12th of September 2022, police received a call from Mr. Steve's friend on a visiting his address on Cherry Lane in Wotton, advising he had found him on the living room floor, unresponsive. Emergency services attended and Mr. Steves was pronounced deceased at the scene. A post-mortem examination was carried out and identified that Ian had been assaulted and strangled. Detective Superintendent Alan Curtis said, "We received information there was a commotion at Mr. Steve's address the previous evening on Sunday the 11th of September, and a red car was seen leaving the area. We conducted extensive inquiries to be able to identify the make and model of the car, and we were able to place it travelling southbound across the Humber Bridge from the direction of Hull before attending Mr. Steve's address. Further CCTV and ANPR work was carried out in a bid to trace the car's movements and identify the driver, and we established that the car was a Vauxhall Corsa that was on false registration plates that had been stolen from an address in Hull 2 days before the attack on Friday the 9th of September. Expanding the CCTV searches and inquiries then led the police to the identification of a second car, a BMW 5 Series, which was seen travelling in a convoy with the Corsa from Hull to Wotton on the evening of Sunday the 11th of September and was insured to Nicholas St. Clair. Additional work was undertaken to identify all those involved with inquiries into the BMW's movements, identifying the car had made the journey from Hull to Ian's home in Wotton earlier in the day on the September the 11th, and linking St. Clair to Jamie Smith and Patrick Smith. Further inquiries commenced, and through phone data analysis, extensive communication was identified as taking place earlier on Sunday, the 11th of September, between St. Clair, the Smiths, and 3 other men, Windus, Gibson, and Furtado. On Wednesday, the 8th of February 2023, all 6 men were arrested. Throughout the course of the 4-week trial, all 6 men declined to provide an account around the circumstances that led to Mr. Steve's death. 5 men, Jamie Smith and Patrick Smith, Nicholas St. Clair, Aaron Windus, and Celestino Furtado, were found guilty in connection with Ian's death. Celestino Furtado was handed a 20-year prison sentence, 15 years for manslaughter, alongside a consecutive sentence of 5 years in prison for firearms offences. He was also handed a 6-year sentence for conspiracy to burgle, which he will serve concurrently. Aaron Windus and Nicholas St. Clair were each handed a 15-year prison sentence for both manslaughter, alongside a 6-year sentence for conspiracy to burgle, which they will both serve concurrently. Patrick Smith was handed a 15-year prison sentence for manslaughter, and Jamie Smith was handed an 8-year prison sentence for manslaughter. Both men were each handed a 4-year sentence for conspiracy to burgle, which they will serve concurrently. Bobby Gibson was acquitted of murder and manslaughter. However, he was found guilty of conspiracy to burgle and sentenced to 3 years in prison. Detective Superintendent Alan Curtis said, "This has been a lengthy and intricate investigation into an orchestrated attack that resulted in Mr. Staves losing his life. After killing him, the group travelled back across Humber Bridge to Hull in the BMW, leaving the stolen Corsa close to Barton up on Humber. The police were able to identify that Gibson and Windus then travelled back in Windus's Ford Cougar, with Gibson picking the Corsa up and the pair travelling in a convoy back across the bridge, with the Corsa later being located at a premise in West Yorkshire. These men went to extreme lengths in an attempt to mask their involvement and cover up their unforgivable and callous attack on Mr. Staves. Whilst the result at court will not bring Ian Staves back, I hope it provides his loved ones with some comfort that all 6 men will be held accountable for their part in causing the death of Mr. Staves and can no longer cause harm within our local community. Please like this video, please comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my crime channel. Thank you.